In the criminal justice system, there are laws. And then there are laws that are dumb and make no sense. These are their stories.
We're now learning more about why Glenn County Police never arrested either of the two men involved in the shooting death of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. Now, District Attorney Barnhill states in this letter that both men are protected under Georgia's citizens arrest law.
Citizens arrest? I thought that was just some bullshit people said on TV. But in real life, a citizen's arrest ain't no Barney Fife shit.
You are an individual that's 20-some-odd years of age, and individuals are running after you, blocking you in with cars. That's called hunting. That's the Wild Wild West that we talked about.
This is Georgia State Representative Carl Gilliard, someone who is just as outraged about this as I am.
The citizens arrest law gives individual citizens the right to arrest someone up to 48 hours until law enforcement would arrive.
So not only can you citizens arrest somebody, you can just keep them for 2 days, like misery.
Hey, please! People are using laws as a justification for murder, as a justification for lynching. You have a higher form of racism. They're not wearing hoods anymore, they're wearing shirts and ties.
Yeah, it sounds like a player hater law.
I think you're correct.
How is this still a law?
Well, no one's challenged it. This law was conceived in 1863. You know, it's outdated.
What possibly could have been happening in Georgia in 1863? I ask, knowing I won't like the answer.
This particular law was written during the Civil War. It was a way of preventing enslaved Africans who were trying to escape to the Union lines. It empowered any white person to arrest any black person.
So on the scale of Betty White to David Duke, how racist is this citizens arrest law? You tell me when to stop.
You can pass David Duke, and that's how racist it is. One of the big things about Georgia is the man in charge of writing the formal laws, Thomas Cobb, is an avid racist.
Wait, avid racist?
He wrote books justifying racism, basically arguing that African Americans were better off enslaved and could never really function as free people.
Oh shit, that is avid. Okay, continue.
Cobb himself, he dies in 1862, but the system of law he had established for Georgia lives on. And that becomes the basis, the protection for racists like the Ku Klux Klan after the Civil War, because they could lynch any African American and claim it was a citizen's arrest.
How is this still a law?
We still have a racist society. We haven't gotten rid of so many elements of racism in the United States.
Well, that settles it. I've talked to the experts, I've studied the finest legal texts, and I can confirm this law must be changed. But I have no idea how to do that. Yo, how is this still a law? All these injustices are happening and nobody's doing anything to stop it.
I am.
Wait, you are?
That's why I authored House Bill 1203.
You're proposing a law that gets rid of the law that's a terrible law.
There's some people that are trying to move forward.
Cool. As it turns out, one of the things filling up Carl's cat calendar is a bill to repeal the current citizens arrest law. And he's getting ready to drop it like it's... Don't say it, Carl.
We are getting ready to drop it, like it's hot.
Oh, he said it.
It's a movement now. The old Jim Crow has had a bowel movement, and we're in a whole new movement now.
So repealing the citizens arrest law is a laxative against the Jim Crow constipation that's been holding up the progress of the black man. And what we need to do with that laxative is add a stand your ground laxative. And then we need to take a no chokehold laxative. And then we need to take a voting registration suppression laxative and get all of that moved out and into the toilet of justice, my brother. Only time will tell if citizens arrest gets flushed into the sewage system of history. But we're definitely a step closer to getting rid of this law for the entire country.
No, this is for Georgia.
Oh, shit. How many states have a citizens arrest law?
All of them, with the exception of maybe 2.
Oh, my God.
So we got work to do. We got work to do.
Excuse me. Oh.